Contracts, as we've often heard here on Legal Video Blog, you can enter a contract. You can enter a contract if you're a consenting adult that can deal with all kinds of issues. Also, you can enter a contract on behalf of someone else. You can act as an agent or a representative. Example being, an adult child who will enter a contract on behalf of an aging parent who's going into a nursing home. Well, that takes us to this week's case. It involves real people involved in a real contract involving a nursing home. Adult son came in with mom. She was having some difficulties getting around and really needed some additional assistance, so she decided to go into a nursing home, a care facility. When it came time to have her go into the nursing home, she reviewed the contract, saw what her obligations were, saw what the nursing home agreed to do, how much it was going to cost her, what the nursing home was going to provide in exchange for that, and she signed the agreement. Adult son signed underneath her name to witness her signature, and he put in parentheses, son, close parentheses. Okay, so mom's in the nursing home, and unfortunately, she suffers death. Son looks at the records and says, you know what, I think nursing home was negligence, and brings claim against the nursing home. Nursing home says you can't sue us, because under the agreement, there's a binding arbitration clause. It doesn't allow you to sue, it means you have to go to arbitration. He said, I don't think that applies because I was not a party to the agreement. They said, yes, you were. You were a party to the agreement, and as a matter of fact, you signed as a representative for your mother. He said, oh, hang on a second, I didn't do that. I didn't do that. I simply signed to witness her signature, and I put in parentheses that I was her son. Well, on that particular issue, that was resolved at the trial court level, and the trial court found that he was not a representative, that he simply was a witness to his mom's signature. But the nursing home additionally argued, as a successor in interest, as someone who follows after the interests of your mother, you're bound by the agreement that she made. He argued on this, no, I'm not bound by that agreement because I didn't enter that agreement. I was a third party. I was a stranger to that agreement. They said, no, no, no. In this instance, you're an heir who's bringing claim against us, and you are doing that because you're a successor in interest. Well, now this went up to the Eighth Circuit Court of Appeals, and there the court looked at these two arguments and said, well, here's what we find. Here's what we find. We agree that son was not a representative of mother. He didn't sign in that capacity. And we also find in this instance that he was, in reality, a stranger to the agreement. Sure, he knew what was going on, but he did not personally enter into that agreement. It was his mother who had the capacity. She knew what was going on. She had enough mental acuity. She was well aware of what was taking place, and she entered the agreement. The agreement was binding between her and the nursing home, but as between son and the nursing home, well, son never signed the agreement. Therefore, he isn't bound to the terms of the agreement, and he's not bound to the arbitration clause, and accordingly, he can sue the nursing home. Okay, so what is the point of this? What's the whole point of this? Well, the whole point of this is you got to know who's on first. You got to know who's actually signing an agreement, who's not signing an agreement. And if you're not, in fact, a party to the agreement, you're not bound to the agreement. That seems pretty simple, but sometimes, as we can see in this case, it takes a little sorting out to see who, in fact, did sign the agreement. It's something you should be aware of when, in fact, you're entering into any kind of a contract, to know in what capacity you are signing that contract. Are you signing it for you individually? Are you signing it for somebody else? Or are you simply witnessing a signature? Okay, bring you this case, as we bring you cases every week, so you understand how the law works. I'm David Allen.